Hello, this is Pac-Man this is on the PS1 in a collection called Namco Museum Volume 1. This is actually the Japanese version of the collection because when I wanted to reacquire the collection after I'd sold a copy I had back in the day, it's no longer on the PlayStation Network store for the PS3 in North America, but it is on the PlayStation Network store for the PS3 in Japan, or at least it was. I don't know, was that like 6 months ago or whenever when I got this? So, I bought it off of the Japanese store, so this is the Japanese version, and then I dumped it from my jailbroken PS3, and I'm running it in the emulator. DuckStation in Windows. So this is Pac-Man now. Later volumes of Namco Museum for the PS1, in the US there were 5. In Japan there was a sixth one as well. You could hit the triangle button to pull up a menu for the collection. In this one, and you could do that during gameplay as well if you just paused it during a game. Maybe you didn't have to pause it. I don't know. In this first collection, you can't hit triangle to bring up a menu while playing a game. When you're on the menu like that for a game, you can hit triangle, but it doesn't pop up a menu like it does in later collections. It just teleports you right to this sort of strange looking options menu. We're supposed to be like looking at a circuit board, like the actual board for the arcade game or something. I think if you turned off the power switch, you would go back to the museum, the Namco Museum menu itself. I don't want to do that. You can mess with the controller settings. So, well, that would take us back to this. So what does this do? Does that say test? My katakana is so rusty now. I'm gonna get out my phone camera translation. Google Translate. Help me. Wait, is this Google? That's not it. Google TV. I don't want that. Oh yes, under Translate. There we go. I got it. Okay. This is the first time I've used Google Translate on my new phone, and it's popping up all kinds of nonsense. Okay. Translate this. Not Spanish. Not English. Detect language, you silly goose. And why does it think I want to translate it to Spanish? English, please. I mean, I've been watching a lot of like Spanish language European football highlights lately on YouTube, and so like I'm getting like Spanish language ads on my podcasts and YouTube videos now. It's hilarious. Okay, so it says start the game. If the test switch is on, it will enter test mode. So that's to put the simulated arcade board into test mode. What's hilarious about this is that these PS1 games were not actually running emulated ROMs. They were actual programmed for the PS1 ports of the games. You didn't get emulated versions, or you didn't get the Namco Museum collections actually running emulators, running ROMs, arcade ROMs, until, this is according to Wikipedia, until Namco Museum until Namco Museum, I think 50th anniversary collection specifically for PS2. There was an earlier Namco Museum that was US only. I think it was made by a Western developer. I don't know if that one was using emulation, but the 50th anniversary collection was somewhat ironic there because while you can extract the arcade ROMs from Namco Museum 50th anniversary collection, and in fact it's It's the best place I know of to legally obtain, what was it? Dig Dug and, oh gosh, some other ROM. Oh, Mappy arcade ROMs. The Pac-Man arcade ROM you can dump from it is the one extractable ROM that actually just won't run in MAME, in any version of MAME. The Xevious ROM will not dump at all. But other than that, they're pretty much all good. Rolling Thunder in the Namco Museum 50th Anniversary Collection for PS2. The dumped ROM of that has some glitchy sound, but it still runs. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we're not going to go into test mode, but the main one is the dip switch menu, which is simulating the dip switches you would have on the arcade board, I guess. And the only one I think I'm going to mess with again, I don't remember what these do. I don't think this one does anything. Let's see, camera says not used. Well, my new phone's a lot faster on the translating. This one says, come on, Google Translate, screen mode. Oh, yeah, so this is the one I will use because the games in these collections that ran on, vertically oriented screens in the arcade, you can rotate them so that they will then play sideways on your TV. Now, you wouldn't want to do that unless you actually wanted to turn your TV sideways. Fortunately, if I want to do that, I don't have to rotate my monitor these days, although that would be cool because then, it would be physically larger looking on the monitor. But just for recording purposes, I can actually record, or I can actually counter-rotate the screen in the emulator, so I can tell DuckStation to rotate the screen back 90 degrees to compensate. The reason why you would go through all that is because the graphics actually come out much more arcade accurate in the rotated screen mode, because it had the actual pixel space to replicate the Pac-Man maze without having to resort to kind of shrinking it down and getting all pixelated looking, as we'll see. So in this video, though, I am going to be running the standard horizontal version, or as it says there, normal. Actually, okay, so yeah, normal and arcade are the options. I'll show you the arcade version here, what it looks like without, rotating the emulation back. I mean in DuckStation, my PS1 emulator. So this is probably warning me that I could break my monitor if I try to turn it on. I don't know. Let's see, what does it say? Come on, Google Translate on this powerful new Pixel 10 phone. You can probably translate that screen, right? In addition to the game specifications for the normal landscape monitor, you can enjoy the arcade feel in arcade mode using a dedicated portrait monitor or a monitor that can be placed vertically. However, please do not play... Google Translate says Pac-Man. Please do not play Pac-Man or Galaga in this mode by turning a landscape monitor vertically. This may cause the monitor to fall over, resulting in injury or damage to the monitor. So yes, it's telling you not to rotate your monitor. It's basically Namco saying, we told you not to, you can't sue us. Be sure to play arcade modes Pac-Man and Galaga on a portrait monitor. Okay, and then it's got like separate button labels for the NEGCON, which was... What the heck is a NEGCON? It's a Namco like specialty controller they made for the PS1. I'm going to Google this. Hang on a sec. NEGCON. Oh yeah, it's that one that's like... It's a gamepad. It kind of looks like a standard old-fashioned PS1 dog bone controller without the analog sticks, except that it's got sort of a circular rotating joint in the middle so that the two sides that you're holding with your separate hands can rotate kind of like you were wringing out a dishcloth or something. Why would you do that? It calls it a swivel joint on Wikipedia. The controller is connected by a swivel joint, allowing the player to twist the halves relative to each other. The controller also replaces the symbol buttons on the original PlayStation controller with two A and B buttons, as well as a Roman numeral 1 and Roman numeral 2 buttons that allow for analog control. Oh, so it had analog buttons, unlike the original PlayStation dog bone controller. Oh, and they did release the NEGCON in the States, but only Japan had the black variant of the controller of the NEGCON. So the NEGCON was created to replicate the analog stick movement used in the arcade game Cyber Sled. Okay, the name comes from the Japanese word nejiru, meaning to twist. The controller was intended for use in racing games, including Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo, and Wipeout. Not so much that, well, I guess there was a pole position, or wait, no, was that Atari? There was some kind of old arcade racing game in these. Critical reception for the NEGCON was highly positive, being praised for its responsive control in games and unique design. Well, that's fun. Anyway, I'm just gonna hit circle. So yeah, here's the rotated. Actually, am I cutting this off on the sides? I might be cutting this off slightly on. No, wait, I should be capturing full 4:3. Yeah, there it is. And so you can see that here, if you don't turn your head and, get a kink in your neck, don't sue me. Anyway, and don't turn your monitor. You can see that here the graphics are much more detailed, more higher resolution, I should say, because, of course, you've got like a taller screen to work with if tall is sideways. But I'm gonna record videos. I'm gonna record a video in which I play with this setting, but rotated in the DuckStation PS1 emulator, so you don't have to turn your head. But for now, we're not doing that. So again, I can't actually get to the option screen here, so I have to fast forward in the emulator. Okay. Now I can hit triangle. Okay. So we'll set this back to normal. What are other options we can change where you get one up and where you get your extra life? You can change starting lives, I guess. Pac-Man. What is this? I think that says like puzzle. Is that like the starting stage? Oh, pause function valid. Oh, that's interesting. You could disable pause, I suppose. And test switch. You can disable the test switch. Wait a second. Why does that say off? I thought the power switch. Oh, well, I don't really care. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, let's just get out of here. Oh, maybe this power switch just... Oh, I don't know. I think this just takes me back to the game. Yeah, okay. So I guess if that test mode dip is off, then it just it's just how you get back to the game. Oh, wait, no, it is stuck. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. So here we see the Japanese names for the ghosts. These are the same names that you saw if you just watched my video on the NES version of Pac-Man that I extracted from I always get the name wrong. Namco Museum Archives Volume 1 or whatever it was called, from Steam, because that actually has the Japanese Famicom version of Pac-Man. So you can see here that the in this, quote unquote normal graphics mode that's made to fit on your horizontal home screen without you trying to turn your TV and sue Namco. They had much less resolution to work with. This actually runs. See, it's funny because, well, I guess they probably, maybe, I wonder if they tried, because of course the PS1 could do 640 by 480, what was considered high res at the time, but there weren't very many PS1 games that actually ran in 640 by 480. I wonder if they tried it and couldn't quite pull it off. Well, you'd think if any game could, if the PS1 processor could have handled any game at 640 by 480, it would be something like Pac-Man. But anyway, that's not how they did it. So this is, 320 by 240. And wait, what am I thinking? There must be a lot of games, PS1 games that do. Yeah, okay, I'm talking nonsense. It's been too long since I've played PS1 games. Most PS1 games ran in 640 by 480, right? It's actually rare to get a PS1 game that... Oh, wait, no. No, that's wrong. I'm thinking PS2 games. God, it's been too long since I played PS1 and PS2 games. Okay. I'm just going to play. How about that? So you see some problems. It's funny, though, because these go away entirely when you play it in the rotated, relatively high-resolution mode, which is that right now in this 320 by 240 mode, the movement looks kind of jerky, like the Pac-Man's movement through the maze. He looks a little jerky in it, but it's just because of how the sort of scaling is rendering the movement, because it has fewer pixels to display it with. Again, in the rotated mode, when I do that video, you'll see that it's actually really smooth. Similar to the arcade game, which is just ridiculously smooth. Uh-oh. Wasn't the smartest. Oh, I ate all my power pellets. I have a bad tendency to do that when I'm just goofing off. Okay, we can make it. Yeah! Just kissing the toe of the pinky. The one ghost with the Western nickname in Japan. I mean, I actually kind of like how big and chunky pixels the ghosts are. And they don't look... I think it's just because of the animation of Pac-Man's mouth. Somehow it really makes him look a little jerky as he moves along at this resolution. Oop. Here I go eating all my power pellets again, but... Oh, dang it. Unlike the NES version, the control in this version is quite good. No problems with it feeling like it sometimes isn't reading your inputs or whatever, like I was getting in the NES version. I'm going for some dots down here. Okay, I'm getting out. I should have cut over there, then I could have cut back. Oh, that was a mistake. Sigh. I got a little too greedy. I should have just gone for the power pellet. I mean, you think, you know, it's just like 6 dots up there. I can cut up there and get those, but no, and I screwed that up. But no. So, you know, why would you play this? It's not, you know, you can't say it's arcade perfect because it's a port, so it's not emulated. So even if that, you know, not that any emulator is 100% perfect, really, but, you know, this is going to have its own, in theory, quirks because it's an actual programmed port. And then you've got the resolution issue and how sort of jerky that makes the animation of Pac-Man look, but I guess I could say that the one reason to play this version, well, a lot of people just like the PS1, and these PS1 Namco collections are pretty cool, you know, you gotta say, and certainly at the time, pretty sure this would have been the, this would have been the most arcade, the closest thing you had to arcade Pac-Man at home, right? Because, like, what else would even have come close? Oh man, I keep doing that. I mean, I guess there were probably some ports for old systems that were pretty decent. Maybe some home computer ports. I don't really have any experience with those, though. Uh-oh. Like, the sound is pretty good, although it's funny because I was getting it consistently before I started recording. Sometimes, but I haven't been getting it now. Sometimes in this version, I've noticed that the sound of eating a ghost will not play. You eat a ghost and there's just no noise. Like, I was getting it like, you know, 25% of the time, just about. Now I don't seem to be getting it. Maybe it's just, well, no, because I haven't been like resetting the emulator like it just booted or something, so I don't know why that is not happening now. Orange you very much. I don't know if that didn't work. But yeah, I mean, what you do get, which I like, is this border art, which is pretty fun. I mean, look at that crazy Pac-Man doing exercises and shadow boxing and jogging and pretending he's lifting weights. What do you call that? Air weights? I don't know. That's crazy. What is he doing? Is that him, like, eating a blue dot or something in the lower left? What is he doing there? He's got a blue something in his hand. Oh, that was me fumbling. I tried to go right, and I did not manage to go right. I'm using a DualSense pad in Windows. Well, that was a pretty sad score, even by my standards. Akabe, Pinky, Aosuke, Guzuta. I don't know what any of those other names might mean. Okay, let's try to do a little better. I gotta get 40K, that's my you're a good boy score. If I get 40K, then I can go to bed satisfied. Ooh, that could have been bad. I guess you could say that the sounds individually are accurate, but it seems like because the the movement is a little jerky at this resolution. It's like the sound, the interval at which the dot eating sound plays also seems a little weird. So it's the sounds in. Oh, see there, you didn't hear the ghost getting eaten. There was no sound, so that's an occasional glitch that you get in this version. But yeah, it sounds kind of like a seal barking or something when you're eating these dots. Just the I think it's just the cadence, but maybe it's the actual sounds themselves. I'm not sure. Uh-oh. There's another ghost that didn't make a sound. It died silently. Uh-oh. But yeah, I like the border art a lot. I actually first saw it. I think I first saw it in Volume 3's Miss Pac-Man. They're going faster now. Which has a similar, but Miss Pac-Man specific border. And of course it doesn't have Miss Pac-Man like pretending to lift weights or something. Whoa, doubled back with the... See, that's me not having mastered the ghosts algorithm. I'm not in their head, they're in my head. Oh, that was kind of a mistake. Jeez. Here we go. Fine, don't make a noise. Oh, I missed that ghost. Dang it. And I've read, people's comments online about these. I might have been looking up specifically Miss Pac-Man, but certainly one of these two, Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, in the Namco Museum PS1 collections. Some people just really loved these versions, and they're good. They're good versions. Like I was saying, I don't think there would have been anything that really came close at the time for home play as far as conversions of Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man went. And even though it's got this jerky look to the movement because of the resolution, it still plays really... I see... I should have just eaten him. I bailed and then I went back. And that was an error in judgment. It's a dumb idea right there. Oh. I'm just gonna get the pellet. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Look at his lips as he's shadow boxing on the left center. Look at his mouth wrinkled up on one side on the lower right corner as he's jogging or whatever. That's how I jog. I don't jog. What am I talking about? I just walk. I don't think jogging's as healthy for you as walking. There's all this, you ruin your joints jogging. I mean, heck, my mom, I always end up talking about other people's health conditions, but my mom was a daily jogger religiously. And, now she's had to have, what was it? knee surgery. Or no, it was hip. Yeah, hip. And she's like a petite woman, but, you know, wear and tear, man. My brother played soccer religiously into his 40s, and he was just telling me the other week, now that we've turned 50, that, you know, he just has like just constant knee pain. I don't think it's like bad enough that it's, you know, causing him constant headaches or distraction, really. But anyway, you know, it sounds kind of not so fun. But he was playing soccer. No, yeah. Well, but he was also snowboarding. I don't know how much might have been due to like snowboarding. I'm missing turns all over the place. And somehow I haven't did it yet. Oh, the seal's barking. Okay. Okay, now I'm really doing dumb stuff. Uh-oh. Okay, fine. Just eat more of your dots. Okay. Oh, okay. Watch out for that nail. Oh man, it's a good thing Pac-Man didn't hit that and like rip his lower lip off or something. But what if Pac-Man actually has some sort of weird pink body? Oh no! Underneath his yellow exterior. What if he has like a brown body under his yellow exterior? What if he has a sort of yellow or peach-colored body under his yellow exterior? If the ghosts are people in disguise, and mightn't Pac-Man be a person like you or like me? Oh, dang it. It was almost really bad. Oh, fine, don't make a sound. I'll eat you anyway. Oh, well, I should have had 40,000 there, and I lost my concentration. Gosh dang it. So all I had to do was go down, under the ghost house, over, get those dots, then I would have had 4 more power pellets to play with. 40,000 would have been easy to get at that point. Almost, if I had gone or left there as I had intended, I would have died. Oh. God, I'm really having trouble catching ghosts. They keep outmaneuvering me. I'm doing worse than in MAME so far. I'll blame it on the chunky resolution. Actually, it'll be interesting to see if I kind of do better. God, what am I doing? in the rotated mode. If I remember correctly, one curious thing about the rotated mode is that unlike most tate modes, is, I don't know who calls them, I don't know if they're called that in Japan, where the screen, where you can rotate the screen sideways, like in shmups and stuff. In these Namco Museum PS1 collections, the rotation is the other way. So what was it? When we saw it, it was counterclockwise, wasn't it? I'm gonna miss my strawberry. Got greedy. Easy come, easy go. Gosh dang it, that was stupid. I can't resist going for the fruit. Anyway, yeah, the rotation is the other direction from most, okay, most rotated modes. Okay, I gotta play with, this is my problem with the Pac games. When I'm playing badly, the biggest reason why I end up not doing well and, you know, playing badly is that I'm not playing with self-preservation as the primary guiding force. I start, you know, I don't know, you just start to think that, oh, you know, it'll be okay, I'll just go for that extra dot down there, or oh, you know, whatever. Whereas what I really need to do, I'm not good enough to be able to do that. I have to play like everything is deadly, and I have to minimize risk and just try to survive. Don't go for some big payoff, just live to get to the next board. I always think it's funny to call levels boards. Like, you know, we were looking at the sort of low-res, blurry version of the arcade board. Is that where the board's concept for levels comes from? Okay, I should have just gone for the power pellet. Yeah, that would have been a prime example of just getting the points. Just get the points and get out. Finger, thumb, not doing what I thought I told it to do. Oh, man. And I can't even blame being rusty because I just played... I just played NES Pac-Man the other day. Well, that one isn't very good, but that's what I can blame it on. I can blame it on these versions not being the same as the MAME version I'm used to playing. I can't handle this jerky, low-res, chunky movement. Blame it on the 320. But yeah, I will do an episode where I've set it to the rotated mode and then counter-rotated DuckStation so we can see it in its you know, higher resolution rendition of the maze. It's still 320 by 240 screen, but in effect it's you know, 240 by 320 screen, which is good for vertical games like Pac-Man. That was kind of dumb. This is not looking great. Where's the other ghost? He's overlapping somebody perfectly. That was creepy. Don't do that, ghosts. I do feel like the control is slightly less responsive than I feel like it is in MAME. With the arcade ROM. That's not surprising, I suppose. Not that DuckStation, like, I don't think it's an emulation thing. DuckStation's pretty low latency as far as I've tested with other stuff in the past. That was sucker bait. I still can't resist. I mean, I knew it before I did it. Let's face it, I was going to say I knew it as soon as I went that way, but I knew it. I knew there was a good chance that was going to happen. Again, that was me not playing with self-preservation foremost in mind. That was me thinking, oh, gotta get the orange. You don't have to get the orange. It's only worth 500 points. You know, the ghost sound not playing is a little curious. Like, you would think the PS1 wouldn't have trouble with that. I was wondering with the NES version, like, I wonder if it does... I wonder if this one does... I didn't run across it in the NES version, but I wonder if this one does the... replicates quirks of the arcade version, like where... you can sometimes go straight through a ghost without it registering the collision. That happens sometimes in the arcade version of Pac-Man. Ah, jeepers. I don't know if this is like an accurate enough simulated port that it would do. Oh, that was more sucker bait. Wow. Wow, two sweet fruit-lured deaths. And one absolute fumble finger death. This is not going great for me here. Dang it! I'm really having trouble. Whoa. Eating ghosts today. Oh my gosh, wonder having V-Think off is making that worse. There's just some crazy flicker going on with that ghost. Oh, that's weird. I don't think I hit a button there. I think that the cutscene just sort of ended. Oh no. My goodness. I suck at this version so far. I'll blame it on the PS1. I mean, it's definitely not smooth at this resolution, and that is a little distracting. I did used to play this version and do pretty well in it, though, and I think I was playing it in this rotation. I don't know, I'm just getting worse at games. Too old to play games. Dang it. You young punks! Get off of my dots! Slash shake cane. I guess that it does feel a little sluggish in terms of the input. I mean, you are slow on level 1 of Pac-Man anyway, but this feels slightly slower than the arcade version. That could be my imagination. Well, I don't know what I thought was going to happen there. Oh, thank goodness, because I was going to die. Hey, big points. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, man. That's right, you go all the way through that tunnel, dang it. Oh, man, 2 in a row didn't make the sound, come on. Run, Pac-Man, run! See, now as a player, were any players ever wondering, wait, how does Pac-Man get big? Why can't I get big? Where's that power up? Well, you wouldn't get that until Super Pac-Man, which unfortunately is a much worse game. Okay, I didn't quite fall for the fruit trap. I did sort of waste a power pellet. Arg! Oh, Orange, you always go that way. Uh-oh. Gosh, I've got no power pellet over there. Uh-oh. Fumble. Uh-oh. You can't catch me, I'm the friggin' Pac-Man. Now I'm just running for it because I'm scared. Uh-oh. Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh. Sheesh. Okay. Oh. My greed got me again. I didn't need to go for that. I had 2 power pellets. Oh dear. Oh heck. Okay, just get the points and get out. Oh shoot, he came straight down. Okay, getting good points on ghosts at least. Uh-oh. Hey. Now I got no power pellets. Oh, hi. Now you guys are done. Okay, don't blow it, just get the points. I could swear that ends a little sooner than in the arcade version. Just seems to cut off a little bit there. I wonder if it's gonna drop the ghost eating sound more as you get to faster stages. At least it doesn't do like the NES version does, which is like all of the sounds speed up along with the movement as you get to higher levels, so the sound just starts getting crazy. Oh yeah, we're getting a big score now. Look at that poor little ghost in the upper right border art there. It's all just shrunken down and frowny faced and freaking out. Oh man, the melon looks pretty janky at this resolution. Janky melon. Jank melon. I'm going for the melon. Uh-oh. 1,000 big ones. Oh, jeepers. I don't think it is dropping the ghost eating sound more at this faster speed. Shoot. Oh, okay. Thanks, guys. 50K. Well, maybe Hmm. Maybe it is a little easier somehow once you get used to the slight chunkiness. Uh-oh. Like, it doesn't feel quite as fast at this stage as the arcade version would be, which I guess would match up with it feeling slightly slower on the slowest stage. I mean, the problem I run into in the arcade version is just that it gets real fast. And I just kind of melt down and I can't handle the speed. Uh-oh. But this feels slightly more manageable. Ooh. Uh-oh. There's no time to eat. Galaxian. I'm coming to get you, 2K, baby. Oh, heck. Eep. Didn't mean to go down there. Sheesh. Oh, wow. I thought Pinky was going to loop to the left and cut me off. Oh, yeah, the Frankenstein. Wait, well... Oh my gosh, I forgot that's what happened. Ah, he's not a person. He's like a worm with a leg? What is that? Because is that a different... That was like a slugnoid, man. That was like a space herpes. Oh no, he faked me out. There goes that Galaxian. Space herpes has got me on the run. Oh shoot. Oh man, they both reversed in the tunnel. Jeepers, great. Wow, they all went in the tunnel. Getting good at ghost herding? What the? Oh, Bell, wow. Okay, I don't know if I've ever even got to Bell stage in the arcade version. Wow, I wasn't used to the ghost going below. Come on, Finger. Just get a bell. Oh no, we're dead. Well, I got a bell. Yeah, that I think beats my MAME score. I think my MAME score is 72,000. Which I don't know how I ever got. So yeah, this definitely feels easier at the faster stages because they just don't feel quite as fast. which, I'm kind of okay. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if that's different once you rotate the screen and play it in the you know 240 by 320 mode, which is what I will do the next time I play this. I also want to play Namco Museum Volume 3 for Miss Pac-Man, which is a similar conversion. Should I do normal mode, Miss Pac-Man PS1, and then do Pac-Man rotated version? Or should I do Pac-Man rotated version and then Miss Pac-Man? I think just because I want to be able to compare the gameplay in normal versus quote unquote arcade mode, I'm gonna do the rotated version of this game. That'll be my next pack episode, my next pack-isode. Yeah. And then I'll go on and do both modes, probably in separate videos. Miss Pac-Man in Volume 3. And then after that, I still will have one more version of Pac-Man for a different system, and one more version of Miss Pac-Man for, well, not for PS1, which just came in the mail today, and which I'm very excited about, and which actually dumped correctly on the very first try, which I had sort of briefly worried that maybe I wouldn't, my Sani 5 dumper, whatever it's called, wasn't going to be able to handle it because it's a slightly irregular cart, but no, it worked on the first try, so hey, sweet. So yeah, lots more pack stuff to cover, which I look forward to. Thanks for watching. I got a friggin' bell. I didn't even know what the heck that was for a second or two. I was like, what the heck is that lump of gold? Why does it have blue around the clapper? Does the regular version have that? The arcade version? I'm trying to think if that, well, I guess that light blue, yeah, that's the blue ghost color, isn't it? Man, that ghost in the right border just looks so unhappy. Feel sorry for the little guy. Oh, I think that blue thing that he's clutching in the lower left, that must be a power pellet. Even though the power pellets aren't blue in this game, but see, because in the upper left, there's like a half of a round thing about that size, and he's running toward it and licking his licking half of his body. Not just his lips, but basically licking half of his body as he's salivating over grabbing that thing, I think. It's got to be a power pellet. Although, with a blue color, that's actually more of like a Super Pac-Man pellet. But they didn't actually have those playable then. Although, of course, this border was made later. So I wonder if the artist made that intentionally to look like a Super Pac pellet. Probably not. I mean, they would have just needed it to stand out from the white in that upper one. Anyway, so yeah, I'm surprised that I got what for me is actually a ridiculous score. At least it would be in MAME. I need water. In MAME, that would be a ridiculous score for me, but yeah, this definitely felt easier to handle at higher stages because it just doesn't feel like it's going as fast. And I only just now realized that the fruits at the bottom actually sort of scroll to the right as you go because the like cherry is no longer showing there. I must have got at least one cherry, right? But I guess that makes sense. That friggin' bell, man, it just looks like a lump of, looks like a, what would be like a, a weight or something, except it's like solid gold and it's sitting in a puddle of water. I don't know. My brain can't wrap itself around that. Maybe it'll make more sense at the higher resolution of the arcade version, which will happen next pack video, I suppose. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.